Let's go. Yeah. And it's that time. Welcome to the underground. Good evening. And right out the gate, thank you, Alex, for the coffee. Much love. Want to thank everyone out there that shares the stream. Tacos, Tooch, D. White, Harm. Everybody out there. Much love, Hoodie Ross. See MC in the house. Voorhees with his flip. Geo. Sevenfold. Mayhem. Thank you for all the feedback, guys. D. White, Steve. Bad Influence, Walk with God with us tonight. Bones. Miss Brady's Ghost. Mr. Knight. Good to see everybody. Alright. Good. Hopefully, hope we can hold down a good stream here tonight. A thank you to everybody again that shares the stream. I see everybody checking in from all over. If you got anything to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com. That is the email. Make sure you're following me on X as well, at dabu7, for all the stuff that I kick out. So, yeah, I see somebody over there saying, how you been? It's been a while, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. Well, look, when you're censored like me, I don't know what to say. I'm consistent as it gets. I'm live 3 nights a week, and I've been doing this for years on end, nonstop. Dropping videos along the way. I haven't gone nowhere. So, They just hide me, they censor me, they don't send out notifications. I didn't get a notification again for the live stream. Through other emails, I subscribe to my own channels just to make sure, just to see. Because when you do what I do, you've got to be on top of it. You got to be watching because they'll clip you any way that they can get you. Again, when I'm looking at my analytics, they don't let me reach anyone that's under 18 at all. The youth, they're afraid. It's a big goose egg. And when I talked to somebody at YouTube last time, and it was quite a few years ago now, and it's a hard thing to do, get a human on the phone from there. The lady admitted to me, that there were weird flags on my account that she couldn't remove. And she couldn't explain to me neither. Just one little conversation, and I was able to glean that there's some kind of crazy crap on my channels and all my stuff. Not surprising, but, when you're out there and when you grind like this, and then you see others come along that don't seem to be doing it righteous, they seem to be working for the man, and they just get blasted and shown constantly in the feed. They're everywhere, tens of thousands of people watching at a time. That's suspicious to someone like me, who knows what it's like to actually fight the good fight. I know how censored you would be. You wouldn't be getting promoted. You wouldn't be getting paid millions. So when these cats out here are getting promoted and getting paid millions, you bet you they're a shill. Charity Sullivan. I've been in this realm for a while, man. There's some nasty cats. There's some cutthroat cats. There's a bunch of fakes. Hate to say it, but that's the way that it is, man. I thank all you that keep it real. That's what's up. Salutes to all you purebloods as well. I do feel we've got some more tests ahead of us. Yeah, Deanne says she never needs an alert. She's always just there waiting. And that's crazy because most people tell me that. They come to my channel every day. They just check in, or they just know that I'm live, and to check in around 9 p.m. So, that's the routine. I had to get that out the way. And, much love, KG. Alright, so I'm going to start this off here with a heads up for anyone that's around Camp Pendleton. This is in Southern California. They're saying that they're going to have this large training exercise. It's going to produce explosive sounds next week. One of the times before in the past when we mentioned this, there ended up being a series of mysterious quakes afterwards. And we just said it was coming from right around that region too. We were like, are they doing something underground? Sometimes they put up these warnings as cover if they are drilling or doing something underground, something big. I'm just going to watch this one closely and just wanted to put the heads up out there that you hear a bunch of bangs next week, dropping bombs and munitions. Training exercise, Camp Pendleton. It's Marine Base Pendleton there. And got another heads up here, and thank you again, Charity, for the super chat. Hackers are ramping up attacks using a year-old ServiceNow security bug. So, what's going on here? This isn't new, but it is new. It's a new attack, but it's not a new tactic. What they're doing is they're trying to either act like a patch or find devices that never had a patch. And they just get in through the back door. And once they're in, they're in. And the damage begins. Whatever they're sending their little bots in to do, whether to collect information and send it back, or to lock your system up and hold it hostage until you give it the go to unlock it, which is what a lot of the ransomware attacks are. They ransom a place and they'll be like, look, send us 50 Bitcoin or you're going to stay locked up. And this has happened all across the country here this past year, left and right. Hospitals have been hit. All kinds of different places have been hit. I'm talking all kinds. Being ransomed. The hackers rolling in, if they think they got a good shot at getting this ransom, they're doing it. So the more that they get away with it, it's like the more brazen they become to go after more people and to go to other places. Now, I always think of, when I hear stuff like this, immediately the Chinese. The Chinese and what they warned us about. Thank you, Arma, for those coffees. Appreciated to the fullest. Much love. We were warned by Christopher Wray when he was going out the door that the Chinese are inside of all of our stuff. Inside of all of our telecommunications, the water system, you name it. They're inside of everything. It goes on and on and on. And they've got back doors into these things. Now, it's very similar to the other night. I was talking about weapons that were sent to NATO in Europe. Now that we're like disconnecting from NATO, it seems, and like Europe, and like going the other way, the question is does the United States have a backdoor switch in the weapons being sent into Europe? And I would say, yeah. I'd say for sure, yeah. Gives them the upper hand for sure. If they could do it, they would. Especially in a scenario like this. If they needed to disarm them for any reason whatsoever, they could do it. You think they're going to pass on the opportunity to do that? I don't think so. So these hackers just know that there's vulnerabilities out there. We report on it all the time. So any of these devices that have not been updated, older computers, older laptops, things like that haven't got the updated versions, new patches, they're just taking advantage of what's known throughout the cyber realm. That older models, older systems that run on different operating systems, they're susceptible to certain hacks. And some of them are easy to just get into because they've moved on, they drop them, and they move on to a new version, a new thing, and they patch everything up. So if you don't get the upgrade, they're always trying to push, like Windows 27, whatever it is, the latest thing. Before you know it, you're not getting any updates on that. That's what they'll do to you. And when you're not getting updates, you're susceptible to this type of stuff. Thank you, Soul Foundry. Much love. Hope all is good, brother. Hope all is good. So yeah, a heads up for all this, man. Everything's susceptible to being hacked in the electronic realm. Is how I see it. There's like nothing that's not out of the range of their tentacles. All right, going to keep it pushing here. Trump invokes the Korean War Act. Someone like, what? Yeah, well, he's doing this, and it's invoking emergency powers. Ever since day one, Donald Trump has been emergency this, emergency that, disaster declaration here, emergency declaration there, all executive order all over the place, and he's doing it again. Yep. And he's doing so because he says this is going to increase the U.S. critical minerals production in the process. So this was passed in 1950 in response to production needs in the Korean War. So it's almost like we're in a war type of atmosphere is how the Gentile Messiah is playing this at this point. And this is the latest thing that he's invoked. These powers and all this here. He's really focused on the minerals and all this stuff. We've got a lot here. If you missed it on the last stream, he just came out and admitted. He said, we're opening everything up. All the coal, natural gas, it can be used by companies. We're going to sell it. No longer are we going to be hurting in terms of this, which is crazy because coal country, which is a big section of down here where I'm at, eastern Kentucky, Appalachian Mountains, it would be revitalized. It would mean that all that property, if there's anything you can get your hands on cheap, it's gonna explode. I'm gonna tell you, it's already doing it. It's already exploding. It's gonna continue to. Because you have all these big chunks of land out there that are just, forest, like the mountains, woods, but in it, countless coal seams that have been untapped that no one has even seen or even knows there yet, but it's all over. It's all through the Appalachian. Coal, natural gas. It's like a God-given gift. Again, if you got it on your property, it's something that you've got. You can tap into it long term. Let's see here. Keep it going. I just wanted to mention it because he's doing all these things. If it opens up an avenue, for the people to prosper in any way, it's positive. And I do see that as being one. That's an avenue where the people can prosper, especially if you can start to sell all those things. Once again, those communities would come back to life that once thrived, like maybe when your grandparents or you were around, your parents were younger or something. I don't know. Years ago, coal country used to thrive, man. It was key. It was the heartbeat of this region. And they took it out. Look at this. Burkham orders nearly 20 million acres in Alaska to open up for oil and gas development. So they're not joking. They're going anywhere and everywhere. And my fear here is, well, if the people don't make moves, if you don't make moves, so to speak, like the people out there, BlackRock and these other countries are going to, or corporations, they're going to. They're going to come in, they're going to buy up all this land. You can already go through some of these things in different areas, and you can look and see who owns the land, who's buying it. And thank you, Sim, for the coffees. And you'll see BlackRock's name pop up all over this and that on these huge swaths of land. So they're like going through across the country, anywhere around the world, really, and they're buying anything that they can get their hands on. Strategic spots, nonetheless, but I'm going to come back around to this. When I get to the Russia part, we'll circle back around to all this mineral talk because it's a big deal. And if a deal between Russia and the United States means peace between the two here, I think it would be a good thing. I just I've never seen it being a good thing, us being at odds with Russia. Ever, ever. It just only makes sense to be partnered with them because if they're your ally, you're virtually, the way that I see it, in a traditional war, untouchable between the two juggernauts. That's why they split them up. They were able to play this war racket, because that's what it is. It's a racket to make money all this time, all these decades. As I said before, Russia makes one kind, the United States and its little companies, DARPAs and all that, they make all the other, and they sell it to all the other countries. And that's how it's all set up. If they partner, what's everybody going to do? What's NATO? What's Europe going to do? What's these other countries that want to snub the nose right now at the United States and say screw us because we don't want to back Ukraine? We want to back out of Ukraine, like France, Macron, all them fools. They ain't making no weapons. They're getting them from either who? They're getting them from us. That's where they've been getting them. For the most part. They make a small percentage of their own, but they ain't getting them from Russia. So if you piss off the United States and Russia, you're on your own. Europe would be. So, all right, let's jump into some of the market stuff here real quick. Again, thank you for the coffees, guys. U.S. existing home sales jumping in a year. Most in a year. Now that Trump's in there, things dialed back a little bit by Powell. I see this opening up. I see that this this year probably being a good year, a big year for people to buy homes and land. And within 3 years, I'm telling you, just within 3 years' time, just within the whole first administration of Trump, someone could buy a piece of property and they could make a good chunk of money off it. The market itself just keeps rising. There was a point where it exploded, where houses like exploded up. It pulled back. But they exploded way ahead of where they are now. If it does that again, it's crazy. Watch the lumber. If you're ever wondering if prices of homes are really going to go through the roof, watch lumber, because it's when lumber exploded last time, that and that alone was the trigger that sent houses through the roof. All builds. They were that much more expensive. There's things to think about. All right, see, what states are toughest on crime? Let's check in on that real quick. Apparently, South Dakota's number one. Then Louisiana, with cops swarming all over the place. I know all too well. Hoodie Ross used to be down there and be telling me all the time. All the time. Then you got New York. You got Wyoming, then North Dakota, Illinois, Florida, New Hampshire, Tennessee, and Alabama. That's where it's toughest to be a criminal. Is in those states. So, and a new study says that TikTok is rotting the minds of the youth. I'm going to say too much social media, period, altogether, is probably doing some damage. There needs to be a break in it. We'll play some of these clips and you can see just what some of these people are doing. And no, I'm not even playing that because I probably already played too much. Catch me a copyright strike or something stupid.
Things looked bleak for Joe, but they were even worse for mankind. As Joe and Rita lay dormant, the years passed, and mankind became stupider at a frightening rate.
Funny, but not funny.
Some had high hopes that genetic engineering would correct this trend in evolution. But sadly, the greatest minds and resources were focused on conquering hair loss and prolonging erections. Meanwhile, the population exploded and intelligence continued to decline until humanity was incapable of solving even its most basic problems, like garbage, which had been stacked for centuries with no plan whatsoever, leading to the Great Garbage Avalanche of 2505, which would set in motion the events that would change the world forever.
I don't know what... I mean... They say it's idiocracy. Well, I don't know. I just don't... The thing with TikTok, the number one thing with me is it's ran by the CCP. It's the number one thing. It's why you don't see me over there. It's one thing to have my own government tracking me and doing all this other stuff, but to have the CCP that has 1 million men slipped up into this country, yeah, it's the last thing I need. CCP hears me on their TikTok over there trashing them, and they give their sleeper cells my coordinates. Right? You know, get him. Like, who's to say that won't happen? That's not in the process. You want to speak of AI tacos? Like, yeah, it's you add that into the mix, it gets scary. All right. I'm gonna look at a couple things here in terms of the supply chain. I told you before that Biden killed on his watch like 150 million chickens, they said, which is insane. But like right before Trump got in the office, they're saying that he killed another 8 million. Like literally, right before he got in there, just to kind of spark more of an egg crisis. Now, I believe it's a little bit of sabotage when you make moves like that. They were doing it big time. They were rolling into places, and they were doing bad things. They knock on someone's door without even testing the chickens and say, "Look, your chickens are tainted," and people would film them. Like, they would see them pulling up and like walking around, coming up to the door, and then saying, "Yeah, we just tested your chickens," and they never did. It was a lie, but they still demanded that they kill all these chickens within 48 hours by the time they come back. So these people have, a choice to make. Go against the feds here that are coming at you saying this, or go and kill all the chickens. So this is what happened over and over and over again. All under the guise of bird flu. Remember, California went into a state of emergency over bird flu like months ago now, when they were trying to push it, and it flopped. It failed. Like, it did not stick at all. It did not stick at all. It did not take off. I felt they jumped the gun in issuing that, but it kind of showed me that that's part of the plan then. If these guys are willing to launch a state of emergency, yeah, something's going on there. Much love, D. Lemons in Florida. So the White House just came out and tried to say that there is tried to say that there's this big drop in gas prices, and that there's also this big price drop in eggs. Well, we ain't seen it around here. I don't know where they're getting their numbers from, but I'd mention this because they're trying to say that there's a drop here, drop of over $3. What they're trying to say. I'm not seeing that around here at all. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if they're just talking. I don't know if some places are seeing this. But there's been no shift there yet. Intrepid, much love. All right. For everybody that likes Coca-Cola and Pepsi, the key ingredient is being controlled by an RSF paramilitary group in Sudan. This isn't good. Yeah. 70% of the world's supply comes from Sudan, and this is a war-torn type of area. And it's been on Trump's list already, like target list places. But this RSF is currently controlling access to this vital ingredient. And I could see someone like Trump, if this story was brought up to him, and they're sitting there like, all right, who are these guys? Like, I can't get my Pepsi. You tell me no more Pepsi? Like, why? You can be like, because these guys over here in Sudan are like holding hostage. He's like, well, what can we do about that? They'll draw up military plans to go and take these dudes out to save his Pepsi. I could see him doing it. There's a guy that says he wants Greenland, he wants Panama, he wants Canada to be the 51st state. And he says he's dead serious about it. And he said it multiple times. And when he says that, I believe he's pushing the idea of a North American Union. I don't think that the sovereignty of Canada or Greenland will ever be given up. But I think a economic union will arise in military. That's one of the key things in military. That right there is everything we've ever warned of. A North American Union. And you already got European Union. They wanted to break this thing down into big blocks globally. And this would be the closest they've ever come to it. And if anyone could get it done for them, I'm sure they think and believe it's Trump. So we'll see what happens with that. Trudeau's supposed to be stepping down. I wonder what kind of character we're going to get next after Trudeau's out of the picture. Is he going to be worse than Trudeau? I mean, could you imagine that? Be careful what you wish for, but I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't trust none of these world leaders at this point. All right, let's dive into some numbers of Tether. Tether's U.S. Treasury holdings now surpass Canada, Taiwan, and they rank 7th globally. This is huge. That's 143 billion being controlled by what they call Tether, a stable coin. This is the digital dollar. This is U.S. digital dollar Tether, USDT. It is the number one stable coin used in crypto and throughout all the places. And they just talked about having some big audit go down where they're going to have auditors come in there and prove like all their assets. When that's done, it's going to bode huge for them because it's proof that all the assets they say that they're holding on to are real. Anytime anyone's trying to hide like this, someone that says they're sitting on like billions of dollars, like prove it. And they don't want to prove it or show anything. Who's to say they got anything? They could be making it up, you see? So they're about to like go through with this big audit procedure. And when they do and they prove that they're sitting on like, this massive amount of money, 143 billion in assets, I think huge things are about to happen. Matter of fact, I know it. On the last stream, I told you they're pushing a bill called the Genius Stablecoin Bill. And what this is doing is it's trying to make stablecoins the most dominant thing out there in stablecoins that are attached to the US dollar. That's important. It doesn't matter whose stablecoin it is. It doesn't matter whose. There's a ton being made right now. Tether has led the way. Years ago, you didn't used to have this option in crypto. You used to buy Bitcoin, get into a couple altcoins or whatever, and when the market crashed, usually everyone would like pick a coin and jump into that one coin. And like everyone jumping into it would boost it up. It would remain semi-stable. Because there was never a stable coin to jump into. There was never a digital dollar to just step into. Like this, sell, step into the USDT. Because this stays stable at all times. It's pegged to $1. Okay? There's all kinds of new ones sprouting up every day. But I'm telling you, with Trump and them vowing to make crypto and AI the capital, right here in the United States. This is the avenue that they're pushing. Obviously. He wrote an executive order against the CBDC, being turned around and he handed you blockchain. And here we are. This is going to accelerate. So there's huge money in this, okay? Now, not all this stuff that is labeled crypto is like the same. Okay, it's just not all these things are the same. They're not built the same. They're not made the same. For example, Ethereum, which is right underneath of Bitcoin, so to speak. Ethereum is a platform that allows you to create other things off of it. Okay, this is technology. Okay. Of course, there is blockchain that is attached to all this as well. And it can be used for the good or the bad. I've warned about this forever. It's like a double-edged sword. All technology is. It depends on who's in control. Right now, a bunch of bad people are in control, so don't expect the best. They're going to be pushing these things for their benefit. Largely. It's how I see it. But within the midst of it, this is how it's all going down here. you've got different technologies on different coins, like Solana, Ethereum, things like that. Even XRP here that they're rolling out. They are a platform to build on. Okay? You can build different coins, different ideas, all types of stuff, apps, dApps, and launch them off these platforms. Okay? And that's how it all works. And you can use some of these things to make bots. There's a new one getting ready to come out called XRT here in a few months, or here soon. And it's going to be designed to allow you to make like a trading agent, or basically a bot to go and do the trading for you, and things like that. If you can get a trading bot put together to get out there and make money for you every day trading, you can't beat that. You can't. It's working for you. You just have to get to the point. And years ago, me and Watchers had one built. We were running it on TradingView. We just didn't get it fine-tuned. But I'm telling you what, I'm about to go back down that avenue. We were right there. None of this is as hard as it seems. You think, oh, building a bot's going to be crazy. It's going to be hard. All this crazy. No. You just apply yourself. And you can do these things. I'm telling you. Like technology's creeping in. And I'm warning you. If you don't get a piece of the pie right now, you are about to witness the greatest transfer of wealth in your lifetime. Okay? And you can either sit there and scoff at it, or you can get a piece of the pie. You know, it's one or the other. Johnny, thank you for the coffees. Much love. God bless. Right back at you. So, this isn't going away. It's pretty obvious. We're walking right into something huge. And, okay, here. Let me explain this here. There's something massive that's happening right in front of your face, in front of everyone's face. And this is a really good breakdown right now. This is the imminent restructuring of the monetary system. Okay? And it looks like a brand new Bretton Woods type of agreement's about to go into motion. And there's a huge reset underway right now. Trump's controlling it. It came out of his own mouth. It's actually happening right now. The whole talk of creating this Bitcoin reserve and all this other stuff, it's all tied into a big basket. You know, we used to back all of our money with gold, right? Of course, they took it off of all that, but they're about to make like a new agreement, like a new Bretton Woods agreement, where they're going to attach our dollar to being backed by a basket of commodities. Do you see now? I'm trying to paint it as clear as possible. Our dollar used to be backed by just gold. They took us off of it. But now there's going to wait and see that mic comes back in. Sorry about that. There's going to be a basket of things that's going to have gold. It's going to have silver. It's going to have everything that you could think of, like in terms of assets that could probably be bundled and put underneath of it. One big thing's obviously going to be Bitcoin here. The other is gold and silver. These are big things right now that I've told you about that you should look at investing in, because largely they're going to be tax-free. Gold and silver, I've been telling you forever. And then even some of the cryptocurrencies, which aren't, not all these are like cryptocurrencies. I have to explain that here in just a minute. That you can't just grab every single one of these cryptos and go spend it at the store. It doesn't work that way. Not all of them. Some of them are more like investment tools. And some are whatever you want to make them. I'll dive into that here in just a second. But there's a restructuring here, and it involves Bitcoin. All this, you need to understand it. There's a new basket that's being created. It's not just going to be gold anymore. It's going to involve all these other things. Bitcoin's going to be a large part of it. And we're unwinding this whole thing. So what they're doing is they're shifting back to what is called sound money. Solid money. Okay? And the key players in this whole thing are Trump and Scott Bessent. They both have signaled a shift back to sound money. And they can't just simply declare a return to gold-backed dollar overnight. They couldn't do it because that would implode the current system immediately. And they don't really want to do that right now. They want to have a controlled demolition. Sound familiar? But this time it's of the economic style. Instead, they appear to be executing a multi-step plan here to transition the U.S. financial system and our dollar away from a fiat-based leverage and back toward a structure that's rooted in gold, commodities, and Bitcoin. That's where this is headed, so that you know, okay? You'd be crazy to think that Bitcoin's not going to explode from here. It's going to go absolutely bananas at some point. Gold, too. So, and this is the thing with gold, okay? For more than a century here, the world's been built on leveraged financial claims that far exceed what they actually have, where a lot of people will claim, like the banks, the whole scam pyramid scheme with IOU, they'll hold a little bit of gold and let all these people borrow on it. So if one guy comes back and wants to take all of his gold back, it's going to mess the whole thing up, be a run on the banks. But that's what they get for operating shiesty. They should never been able to do this in the first place. Like, if you put your gold in there, they're going to hold your gold. They shouldn't be able to, like, borrow it out at all. Right? IOUs on it or nothing. They got shady with it. Okay? They got shady with it. And they wrecked this whole system. Thank you, Luis. Much love, brother. Thank you so much for the coffees. So, gold, it truly is the hidden anchor of the entire system. It is the true root sound money. Now, we still don't know what's going on with Fort Knox. They said, oh, we're going in there, but we ain't seen nothing. Another lie. And the problem also with that is the governments and the central banks, they control and they deliberately suppress the price of gold they have this whole time with the paper fiat currency that they control, that they print. So this hypothecation and derivatives together, they've made this big pyramid. And at this point, the only way to correct this is to back our currency. Basically, our currency is on its deathbed. If they don't make this move, it's just the whole thing's going to implode. It's basically worthless. And when you've got BRICS out there, which is China, Russia, India, and this whole other side, they've mounted up as a formidable force financially here on the world stage. They're continuing what you call de-dollarization, which means that they're getting rid of it. They're not buying the bonds or treasury or debt. They're getting rid of the dollars all in all. And they're seeking settlements in their own currencies or different currencies. Okay, and when the smaller countries see them getting away with this, it's not a good sign. The other countries start to do the same thing. And a bunch have applied for BRICS. The more BRICS grows, the stronger it gets, the weaker the dollar would be, so to speak. Because BRICS is talking about doing what? Backing all of its stuff with gold and things of that nature. Now, I'm still down with backing everything with gold. I mean, that's as sound as it gets. But you can't even prove to us that the gold's there. Like, we got to start at the root of this, at the base of it. And if you want to talk all this stuff about backing our money with all this, well, show us it's even there first. You know? Show us it's even there. Is how I feel about this. Now, check this out. Look at this. And I follow TF Metals, man. They're good here. They put this out, and there was a warning. COMEX put a warning out that they were way behind on shipments of silver and gold. This is stuff you got to watch. Remember, I told you the world's richest men are sitting on the sideline in cash. Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, selling out their biggest stocks, sitting on the sideline in cash right now. And at the same time, all of the countries are stuffing their vaults with gold. They have been at a record pace. Well, they can't have gold go through the roof quick. It's got to be a slow burn up. And what's happening? Just that right now. It just crossed 3,000. It's going to continue to slow burn upward. And what it's going to do is, well, people are kind of not paying attention. Yeah, they see that it's setting a record and it's moving a little higher. But it continues this trend without them coming out in just one day and making a shocking announcement, and it jumps $1,000, $2,000 or whatever it's going to be. It's already started. Like the fuse has been lit. Okay, it has. And silver's right behind it. Silver is going to absolutely explode. When the manipulation comes off this game and that's over, these things are going to go into discovery mode. The most precious elements on the planet to find their true value. And I'm telling you, that right there is going to be an explosive moment. That is going to be so explosive. Everyone is going to benefit from that. Everyone that's sitting on it. Everyone, and they know it. They all know it. All right? That's why I told everyone you should have a little piece of the pie too. Especially when it's now tax-free. Precious metals in most states are tax-free. My gosh. I've been saying it for years now. And it's more than tripled in value and going to continue to march this way since I started saying this. So, precious metals, man, top of the list when it comes to investments to me. It's something you can hold in your hand, something you can bury. It doesn't get any more king than gold and silver to me, or any precious metals. Platinum, palladium, also acceptable. Coppers, all that stuff. And remember, not only do these precious metals, have huge technological applications, and they're going to continue to, like silver, gold, come on, like everything. Man, the price is going to continue to explode in these areas. But one that is crept up that I think is really also going to explode, and it's one of the reasons that Trump just ordered to stop everything. It had to do with the penny. Is anything to do with copper. Copper is going to go through the roof. And all these metals are going to rise, man. There's no way that gold and silver rise and take off and the others don't play catch up. It's a gimme. It's a gimme. It's almost like, treat it like Bitcoin. When Bitcoin gets up and runs, Ethereum tries to track right behind it, and then at some point when it slows down, all these altcoins they call it alt season. All these other precious metals, so to speak, they gotta jump forward and catch up market-wise. You see? And that's what's going to happen with the precious metals. It's going to be like a never been seen before event, like a once in a lifetime. We're about to see some huge things, man. So the reevaluation of gold is underway. We've warned about it before. It's happening in slow motion, a slow burn, and at some point it will accelerate. Couple news clippings the right way, couple stories, releases, there's no gold in the vault. That would kill the dollar and send gold through the roof. But he's not looking to do that. He's looking to have an excuse to save the dollar right now. Trump is, by backing it with all these things. Just don't forget that. So what this right here is trying to say, step 4 says, early exiters moving into Bitcoin right now is going to be huge. So what they're trying to say here is a ton of people are going to leverage into Bitcoin in the midst of this. During the Great Depression, those who saw the collapse coming, they moved their wealth abroad. They put it into gold. They put it into other hard assets that couldn't be stolen, so to speak. Whoever didn't and that maintained that debt, they got wiped out. And then after FDR came along, he confiscated gold in 1933. And then what did he do? He revalued it in 1934. Those who hit it or pre-positioned themselves better, did something with the gold and silver ahead of time and seen the wave coming, they benefited the most. So what it's saying right now is that Bitcoin is serving as the next tool of liquidity for the central banks, and that it's going to be the escape hatch for this whole thing, and that this thing is going to, there's going to be a ton of liquidity. This thing's going to blow up. I'm going to tell you now. There's no way Bitcoin doesn't ever make it to $1 million. It's going to make it easy. It's done broke 100,000. Come on, like it's on its way there. Give it by 2030, it's going to be there. I've watched this thing go from pennies, man. My buddy Scotty had like so many Bitcoin at one point on a computer. Literally a little bit of nothing to what it is now. Like absolutely huge. And this has always been and always will be a double-edged sword for me, because this is a new age. When we first heard of Bitcoin, I told myself, you know what, we've got to learn this. Why? Because I'm sick of the games the bankers play. I'm sick of these monopoly men. That's what I'm sick of. And apparently I was born into a world where these guys already had it rigged and running this whole game and this whole sham. And I see it for what it is. But you're telling me that I'm living in a time where a brand new monetary system is going to be introduced worldwide. Well, I want to be ahead of the curve in it. I want to understand it. I don't want to be one of these people, like even modern day people that walk around still don't even understand the basic concepts of the banking system, how it works, transactions, all that. One of the good things, the bright sides of all this is the lightning quick speed and the removal of huge transactions. Like if I was trying to send money through the bank for something, or get money returned and it wanted to come through my bank, it could take days and days and days, forever, for this stuff to clear. And you know it. Well, this new technology does away with that. It's like almost instantaneous, within seconds, lightning speed, to where these things clear, cross-border payments clear, lightning quick. It's a game changer. Technologically it is. Even banking-wise it is, for people who don't understand it. I'm trying to just break it down simple. It changes the game that way. So these are the positives of it. I've always told you from day one the negative. And that's that the government will track and trace everything and lock it away on the blockchain. I call it the beast blockchain. But what are you going to do about that? Huh? What are you going to do about it? I've been looking for an answer. I've been telling people, warning about it forever. And it sparked talk about the CBDC. People were like, oh, the CBDC. He wrote an executive order for it, buffaloed the people, and here we are. The blockchain is still right in front of them. And it's not a bad thing if good people are in control, because you can store all kinds of data on it. And you could do all kinds of good things. Again, the whole cross-border payments thing with lightning speed, everything I'm telling you there, all these are the positives. But if you got bad people in control of anything, they're going to try to track and trace you. Now, they're already doing that. They're already doing it. They're already doing it with everything that you do. Everything you do through the bank right now, everything you do with your bank card is being tracked and traced, every bit of it. Everywhere you go, you're tracked and traced with your cell phone in your pocket. These are cold realities some people just don't even want to face. It's already going down, man. So, what did Trump do? And some are like, oh, they're trying to, this and that. He rolled out a Trump coin, right? What did they do to it? It pumped up and they dumped it on everyone, which I don't believe is right. Like, not knowingly, like you don't create something like that to take in all this money, just to take it and dump on the people. Okay? What you do is you create something and you do it righteously and let it like gold does. Let it slow burn. Let it create wealth. Let people invest in it over time and let it hold that wealth and be something and mean something. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to represent. You see? Now, any stock, anything, a rich person can come through and they can pump anything. If it's open to the public, they can come through and they can pump anything. You can't stop that. What I'm talking about is intentionally doing it. The creators doing it. You know, and having a pre-sale, having like billions of coins you're sitting on, and you release it to the public, you run it real high, and then you dump all your coins off the top, and you make billions, and you leave all the people holding the bag. That's what Trump and them did. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is scheming and scamming right out the gate to get them, because that's what the game is. That's what most of the pump and dump all these coins and all the stuff out here are. Okay. This is why I want to create one that represents us, and we do it the right way, the proper way, where I'm not seeded in with millions of coins, and there is no pre-sale, and there is no shadiness at the gate. Like, I buy in right when it goes live, and everyone else has the opportunity to buy in right then, same time. And that's how it is. There's no hitting millions of coins that I'm going to dump on you over here. It shouldn't be ran that way. It should be ran more or less like a stock, like you're investing in it, right? That's what I want to create. That's why I said when I want to create this underground stock or this underground coin or whatever, this is where I'm going with it. I want something righteous, and I want it to serve as an example. It may not be blowing up. It may not blow up with like massive gains right out the gate or anything like that, but it's not about that. It's really, in the end, not even to me about the money. It's about just the idea that you can create something and build it for the community and have it worth something. Get a market cap up to $50,000, $100,000. And if you invested in the beginning and you want to cash out later to go buy you whatever, you can do it. And it was a benefit because we did it. I may not take off like Tesla and all that stuff, obviously, but still, it would be an honest project, is what I'm saying. If you build it, they will come. Well, I ran a poll, and all you guys, majority of the people said they wanted to see something. So we're working on doing that, creating something, and you can too. Now, the problem is out there in this game, especially with crypto, there's pump and dumps. There's so many scams. Again, this is why I want to step out and do one righteous and just put it out there and like let it grow. You know, that's a beautiful thing to me. So we've been talking about this stuff for years, this technology, me and Watchers and some of the other cats on the crew behind the scenes, and the technology tied into it. Like I said, we've made bots and all this other stuff. So we decided to run a test, because if we're going to make a real thing for the underground that represents us and all this, it's got to be legitimate, and you got to go through the whole test of doing it, of making it. You got to create it. It takes time, takes money, takes all these things. Knowledge. But I figured if we're going to go down this path, the knowledge should be shared with you, so that if you too want to someday create your own righteous investment or something, or just fiddle around, just have fun with it, or just learn, you can get your knowledge on right here. So this all begins with creating a stock or a coin, and you can apply everything I'm telling you to a stock almost the same way. Except there are different rules to the stock market that you're going to have to go and look up that are different from crypto. Crypto's the wild, wild west compared to the stock market still. That's why it's better. There's more volatility, way more money in it, way more money to be made. And yes, to be lost, but you have to learn. That's trading in all this. What you're looking at on the screen, as you can see here, is the Crazy Tacos coin. And what we did is we ran a test. Me, Watchers, and Tacos ran a test, and we were trying to get. It was Watchers initially. He was going to run one. He's still going to try to run the test on one called Bread. But how this works is you go over to a place like Pump.fun. And what a place like Pump.fun is it allows you to create a coin or a project. Most people will create these projects and they will get out there and they will pump them really quick and they will dump them. And then it's over. It's literally over in minutes. And these things, if I go over here, I hit trending, you're going to see on this page, like literally every couple minutes, brand new coins are made all day long. And it's got the market cap on them. It's got how many people's in it. It's got all this information, how much they're up. And you can buy into them as soon as they come. But there's risks because most of them are just going to pump and dump. That's why it's called Pump.fun. It's made for fun, so people can have fun doing this, pumping crap coins. Okay? So that's where the term, crap coin comes from, so to speak. Is this pump and dumps that in reality you never want to touch. You never really want to touch. Like one in like 100,000 is going to come out of there, a real project that sustains. And to do that, to separate yourself from being a crap coin or a brand new coin, which on the screen, if you look, you're going to see it keeps moving. You're going to see this thing keeps populating. These are brand new coins that are being made on different sites that are populating into GMGN. GMGN is one of the major site here for new coins. So Pump.fun, you create your coin over there, it aggregates in over here, and you're seeing them kick out. You're seeing all these brand new coins just right now in real time. They're kicking out. Now, a bunch of these are just going to be pump and dumps. A ton of them. But they do a good job of putting information here. The little pill means it comes from Pump. The X is the Twitter account, and you can click on it and it'll open up a Twitter profile, and you'll see if they've got a following and all this other stuff. So they do their best to put a lot of information here. But when you create your project, you got to go through a process that's called completing the bonding curve. And what this does is it separates you from being a little pump. It means that you're legit. And usually what you got to do is you got to get your market cap up around $40,000, $50,000 and maintain that. And basically maintain that you're not dumping it out and that it stays that way. So that would be the first goal, is to get there to that. And once you complete it, you be on the right side over here where it says completed. And these are completed coins. These are coins that made it through the bonding curve, proving that, they're more than just a little pump, and they can still pump and dump all day long. But they're more legitimate. They made it, and they've got like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 market caps. So they're more legitimate. They're not just a couple $1,000 pump and dumps here looking to take your couple bucks and run. That's what most of them coming off the left are. So this is knowledge, so you know that this is how this realm works. Okay, so that's key knowledge. So we created one for Tacos, and he let it loose. And what we learned is when you create, snipers, bots also have a chance to quickly buy in. And this is what happened. Once bought in, like $95 or something, and then they got in, and that's where this dump on the screen comes from. It's from them. Because they came in, they seen and thought it was weak. So then we came in behind it and started buying in here like $1 or $2 a piece, just testing it. And it started to go up. But since the bots shook out, he's out. He's not in it no more to ever dump in there again. The only way for him to ever do it is you have to buy in to be able to dump. You see, so we learned lessons right at the gate that like when you create one, you can shake out the bot, let them dump out, and then everything from here should be solid investment. So just some tips and tricks there in terms of people that are wanting to know or gain knowledge about how all this stuff goes. I'll be talking more about it because I'm going to launch the underground, and we'll just dive down that rabbit hole when we get to it. All right, I'm going to keep it pushing here. I just talked about how there was a multi-country blackout that had hit in terms of the power. Venezuela, Cuba, Panama, I believe it was. It was all these places that Trump had issues with. Go figure. Well, Trump also having issues with the leadership out of the UK because apparently they're left-leaning and they don't see eye to eye. They want to keep the war going in Ukraine when Trump don't. Well, their main airport got thrown into the dark as well. Full-blown blackout out of nowhere. They're apparently back up and operating. And I thought it was kind of crazy. Every single one that got hit seemed to have been on Trump's crap list. But, and much love to all my UK cats out there, Daz, Crown Jewels. Man, just lost respect for you, Jay. Major. So we'll jump into. Let me go to Trump here signing the official order here to eliminate the Department of Education once and for all. Some people flipping out about this, like we need a Department of Education. And I guess they're not understanding what's going on with it. That's often the thing. People have a lack of knowledge. They assume things, and because they assume things, stuff gets twisted, and it's they're assuming and not digging and getting all the solid stuff that leads to all the effery, if you will. So Trump says this, and people are like, oh, there's going to be no department. He really shouldn't be calling it this. He shouldn't be saying he's eliminating it, because he's not. He says it in the video, but he's really not. They're just downsizing it, okay? It's still going to be there, which, why would you say that? Why would you say you're eliminating the Department of Education when you're really not? You're just downsizing. You should say you're downsizing it. But he says once and for all. Well, I'm going to play the clip and then.
Sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all. And it sounds strange, doesn't it? Department of Education, we're going to eliminate it. And everybody knows it's right. And the Democrats know it's right, and I hope they're going to be voting for it, because ultimately it may come before them, but everybody knows it's right, and we have to get our children educated. We're not doing well with the world of education in this country, and we haven't for a long time. And we're pleased to be joined today by the woman who I chose because she's an extraordinary person, and hopefully she will be our last Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Linda.
There you go. You heard what he said. This is going into the states. So that's what it is. And I'm down for that. Like, the states should have the power on education. And they should have the power on everything. The states should. The feds should be very minimal, very small, have very little say. And they should have a little department that, like, links everything together. Because that's what it's supposed to do. And that's it. Not have all this full-blown power over everyone and all this stuff just because they are the linking of everything together. No. They just need to maintain that everything flows smooth. So the state should have the right to set what education standards they want. And that's how I see it. Like, and you should. If If you want to homeschool your children, you want to do this and that, you should. There should be no fight about it, no argument about it. If you have certain religious beliefs, all that should be accepted, right? Not the feds coming in and trying to big brother you and saying, no, you have to do this, and threatening and do all this. There has to be this. No. Like, all that can go. They're going to keep a small fraction of the department to, I guess, do what needs to be done to communicate with all the states and all that stuff. But in terms of the control, this is what it's doing. It's dismantling the power, taking it out of the hands of the feds. All right, now this one I'm not too sure about here. Boeing is not the top of my great list right now, with engines catching fire, windows popping out, doors popping off, all these horrific things happening with the flights. Boeing's going to build the U.S. Air Force next-gen stealth fighter jet. I just don't know how I feel about this. Our F-35 is a piece of crap, apparently. It can't even fly right. And, I don't know, man. It's just doesn't seem like the F-47. The new fighter jet will be designated the F-47. I wonder because if that's it, he's 47, number 47. So F-47 airframe in all this, that's going to be the future from here on out. The future of our military. F-47 is going to be the new one. Jump up from the 35. This is where it's going. I told you it was kind of odd that Trump was attacking all the EV stuff, it seemed like, right? And then he came out putting out a commercial pretty much for a Tesla, right? That they're awesome. And that basically it's so beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Much love. Thank you, Lowrider. Thank you for the coffees and the support, my brother. Good to see you out there, man. Good to see you out there, man. I never know. Yeah, after doing this for so long, I've met Lowrider, if you guys don't know, in the flesh. And he's great people, awesome people. Chrissy, thank you. It just sucks when you don't know people you've met out there, like over time, if they're doing all right, if they're around, if they're still breathing. Have so many people die. So many people die. Even our mods we've had pass away. R.I.P. everyone, man. So it's just good to see good people check in sometimes. See that you're still breathing, man, and you're out there. Just how I feel about it. Much love, Lowrider, man. Hopefully, one day again, we can shake hands, ride, man, get some time. I didn't feel like I had much time at the conference. Get to hang out with you when I did. But yeah, thank you, Chrissy from London, England. Member for 3 months, the Underground. Hey, I appreciate it. All my cats in the UK. All my cats. But what I was talking about with Trump and the EVs, he attacked them, so to speak, saying we're doing away with it, like doing away with all these charging stations across the country. But that affects Elon because he's got EVs. So he turned around and he did like this little commercial, I felt it was, on saying, oh, the Teslas are so beautiful and this and that. Well, now China rolling out these really sleek EVs, like really sharp looking, and they're looking to compete. And I don't know. I don't want to see any of it. If we can't trust what China's doing with anything, backdoors and anything everywhere. They got 1 million troops hiding in the bushes here in this country. You want me to jump in a vehicle that they've created? Like when they got a backdoor and everything? Like I trust that. Like they just blow me up in it. Oh, he's in there talking crap about Xi Jinping. Just blow him. Boom. Don't even have to hit him with a missile. Just They do it just like the Mossad. Built in. I don't know. So expect to see this, a whole new... I don't even know if they'll let them in the United States is my thing. With all this, with everything going on with China right now. Now, Elon's trying to tell the staff out there, hold on to your stock as people are trying to attack him and tear him down. I don't know. I don't know if you've got stock here. See, this is one of the tricky things. A long time ago, it's like when it comes to trying to make money financially and emotion, like you have to detach your emotions from things. Or you'll miss opportunity, as they say. But if you're like, no, we're fighting back with our money, and like we're not spending it at these corporations, and this is how we're fighting back, that's a different story. People could fight back by dumping Tesla stock and saying F you, but I mean, that's on them. Are you dumping it at a loss or at a what? And like, what were you thinking when you got in it? Like, attacking this guy, all these places, I almost feel like this is like a carrot on a stick, baiting lesser-minded people who are not intelligent enough to see that they're being baited into a trap. If there's one vehicle in the world that you want to stay away from and far away from, in my opinion, is a Tesla. I absolutely hate Elon Musk, but I'm not going to tell you to go. And I give him all the chances in the world, but he's as evil as they come, and he's proven it. In his Baphomet costume and his upside-down cross and all. And wanting to stick a Neuralink in your brain, and I can go on and on. But this guy, creating these vehicles, pushing them out there. I mean, can't you see the world just made? He's inserted himself into all this, into the whole political realm, and the Doge. He just stuck himself in there. Like, what? Like, I don't like it. He wasn't elected at all. And he's just jumping in there like a big rich kid, doing whatever he wants. And again, they've come out and they said, all these millions and billions of dollars are missing and gone and have been spent by credit cards. Not word of a single person going to jail. It's black magic. And that's what he is. He's dark MAGA. What do you think that means? Huh? Trumpers out there half retarded. Don't even realize what they're following around. It's just crazy. Again, a lot of people losing their integrity and respect. People that I liked over the years, calling friends, whatnot, all this, like, line in the sand's done been drawn. Like, when we get to these critical points where anyone and everyone should honestly be calling out some of these things, and they want to turn a cheek, look the other way, or not talk about it, and this and that, it's ridiculous. It's pathetic is what it is. And they ain't got no kahunas. They ain't got nothing. Call yourself whatever. Took an oath to what? Serve and protect this place, foreign and domestic. Well, we all know this place is riddled domestically, and I see nobody stepping up to remove it. What about that oath now? Huh? Long overdue, partners. I don't want to rub elbows with nothing but feds now. That's all this big thing has been. Trick the whole base, liking all these faces, the Dulcies, the RFKs, the Dan Bongino's, all these people you're watching on live stream and they want you to fall in love with and pushing all these points. Now they're all the head feds. And they made you fall in love with them. I don't think so. Not right here, partner. We got them eyes to see. So this is one big circus, one big show. And as I said it before, the biggest actors in the world make it to the political stage. That's what they're used at. Not in Hollywood. They go from Hollywood to here, just like Schwarzenegger, just like Trump. This is the echelon of acting. They want them to play the crowd. That's what they've done, and you can't beat Trump. Trump's done better than anyone thus far. He has. You give that to him. Rock star status like a magnet. The way they did it was masterful. Of course, line him up against a Biden and a Kamala, or Biden lookalike dude in a mask, and Kamala, and make it so devastating for 4 years that the whole herd will definitely want to go that way. Well, they did it. It's pretty easy to see, pretty clear to see. Most people just don't like admitting when they're wrong and that they've been had or they've been buffaloed. If they can get over that point and suck it up, get over their ego and all that, then they can get somewhere. They can advance. That's where it starts for a bunch. Something's got to be done here, man. I feel like right now, the way this is going, people are blindly accepting bad things, and you can't have that. At the same time, they're pushing the buttons of the left just right to where, again, the carrot on the stick thing I was saying, they got them attacking Tesla dealerships. Now look, when the ladies on The View and their local pundits that they love on TV are all saying these things, dropping the subliminals and saying, go, 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 it's go. We got a problem. This is massively organized. If we would have ever done this, every one of us would have been taken down, eliminated, all this other stuff, locked away, throw away the key, no pardon, all that type crap. And we'll play this clip here, and then give a couple more thoughts. We're going to start diving into all this. What looks to be, this is going to be the brand new chaos that's being birthed in this country. It was BLM at one point. They'd done been retired. They got the Palestinian little thing up there on the burner, using it here and there. But this looks to be the new wave.
He said, Musk is kind of this arch villain of late stage capitalism, and he seems like this clown and this buffoon. But like Alex said, this is a man who made a Sieg Heil Nazi salute, not only in public, but at a presidential victory party. It's good to remember that these are unprecedented times of mass criminality going on in the United States right now. And that, like Trump, Musk is a pathological liar. He's a criminal. He's a sociopath and a ghoul. And I mean those terms very precisely, because who else would use his own child as a sympathy prop while literally taking starving aid away from people all over the world? He's literally killing people. People are going to die because of this madness. He's a man who threw 80,000 people from the VA out of work indiscriminately. And as far as the plunder, I would urge everybody to really follow Bernie Sanders' Fighting Oligarchy tour and listen to what he has to say, because the list of abuses is too big to even tackle within 5 or 10 minutes. But I think
I don't buy none of this. Now, I try to play as fair as possible, right? As Hoodie says, chew up the meat, spit out the bone. Take the good from it and get rid of the bad. So, what this man just said about this, I think he had some valid points, and I think he's full of crap on other stuff. That's fine. It's what we do. We apply discernment. That's what you need to do. Apply discernment on it. So he says, that egotistical Elon in here doing all these stuff, and I agree with some of them things. But then he turns around and says, Bernie Sanders and oligarchs. No, that's still playing the left-right paradigm. They're all establishment. That's what you need to see. It's one big club. That's what he's not saying, because he's a part of the club. He's still deflecting to the left-right paradigm. And it's an easy out for all of them. They know the script. It's easy to point a finger and say someone's a bad guy for this or that all the time. This is one big club, man. Just go back to John Kerry, the original George Bush, skull and bones. One's a Democrat, one's a Republican. They're both on the same damn team. That's the perfect example of how the whole thing is set up. They are bonesmen. You understand? They are players on the team behind the scenes, and they walk down different sides of the aisle, cussing each other, flipping each other off, talking all this stuff, hating on one another in the public eye, and as soon as they're at dinner behind the curtain, they're cheersing, sipping blood together. And these are facts, Jack. This is how the game works. I mean, if you ain't learned this, you're like below freshman level on this stuff. You need to catch up quick. Okay? This is an illusion. And we need people to wake up. That's why I'm saying these people that are out there still pushing this Trump train crap, like, give me a break. Like, we got him in there. I give you that. He was better than Biden and all them, okay? But, like, again, not calling them out for what they need to be called out for is getting pathetic, man. It's scary because what's it going to be next? If you're not going to do it for this, not going to do it for that thus far, what's it going to be next? Huh? When they're rounding us all up, you going to turn a cheek too? It's starting to really annoy me. Fake patriots out here is what is basically how I see it. So, here we go. A new era of chaos on the scene. Places are getting targeted all across the country. I showed footage of places getting lit up. These Tesla vehicles are exploding, and they're going to do that. But these Tesla vehicles have so many cameras on them that if they're in a parking lot or they're around you, you better be mindful because they're watching, okay? They're watching. Now, higher-end vehicles can have this too out there, but most people's regular vehicles out there have never had stuff like this. Maybe a backup camera, this and that, but not like all the way around, like in every nook and cranny that you can think of. It's crazy. And really, these are big time. They could be utilized as spying devices, or just. I'm not gonna name any names, but some clown tried to do this to me. Tried to set up. Like he's trying to stalk me, some weirdo goon, in his Mercedes that had a camera system. Thought he was gonna park it at some angle where it was gonna watch me and my movements. It was rather obvious what he was doing. But that's what he was doing. And he was using the vehicle. And then maybe it's connected to satellites. He could be sitting at home or sitting wherever as the vehicle's parked there and just trying to watch through the camera who's coming and going and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, like, straight up. Like, if you see someone parking one of these things and not, like, anonymously on your street or in front of your house, out of nowhere, and it's weird, you've never seen it before, like, I'd pay attention, and I'd get to know what a Tesla is, because, again, it's loaded with cameras and technology, all types of stuff. You talk about being in a car that, like, they can hijack and they can take control of, and they can shut down, and they can do all this other stuff. They can do these things. And remember, if Teslas and all these other vehicles were to get hijacked, it would be just like the movie the Obamas put out. Remember? Where all the cars are driving into a big pile, they had to jump out of the way. They were like, what's going on? All these cars were trying to head back to a home base or something. All these driverless cars were no humans in them, and they were just piling up. And they just kept coming. Like, that's scary. It's wild stuff. What were the Obamas trying to tell us there? Signaling. That would largely involve Teslas. Largely being hacked. So now, you don't think that that's possible? Well, let's see where we're at right now. Canada's largest showroom attacked. 80 vehicles damaged. The goons on the loose. Okay? And this is like the new thing that they're doing. This is the hot new thing. All right, I'm gonna play a bunch of stuff here. We're gonna tear through this because you're probably gonna witness this, run into it. You may see it. If you catch any footage of anything like this, let me know. Dabu7 at yahoo.com. We'll play this clip, and then we're gonna jump into a reel of a bunch of different people doing a bunch of different crazy crap here with Tesla, and then we're gonna dive into who's behind it and all that.
Angry because she was driving a Tesla.
I was thankfully by myself.
Lee was on the way to a doctor's appointment in Linwood Wednesday morning when she says all of a sudden a driver behind her just laid on the horn as they came up to a red light. Things spiraled out of control when a white SUV followed her and cut her off, stopping in the middle of the road.
Gets out and walks straight up to my window. So I crack my window. And I
Could
said,
have had a gun.
What is the problem? He goes, you need to sell your car. This is a Nazi car. You're driving it. You need to sell your car.
Lee says she's been driving a Tesla for the last 2 years. She says a man wearing a camouflage jacket and a ski mask attacked her for it.
It's really sad, that this is what's happening to people who honestly, it doesn't affect how I believe or what I believe. Just the car I drive. Being in Seattle, it was climate's important, our footprint's important. This seemed like the right move for our very busy family.
This, however,
I'm gonna tell you right now, you ever run up on me or spring up on me like that, you're gonna get a gun shoved down your throat. Anybody ever puts my life in danger like that, gonna try to run me off the road and jump out the car with your hands in your pockets like that, try to run up on me, dude, you're a fool. Be the last thing you ever do. You're gonna put people's lives in danger. He's very lucky that someone armed and that he didn't have a weapon. But that's all I'm saying. If he could have easily just over, boom, boom. You know how many clips I've shown of people doing that? He's lucky that woman didn't draw, and freak out, or somebody else jumping out with a mask like that, hands in his pocket like that, I've seen crazier stuff happen, man, but it's why people need to roll armed, protecting themselves at all times. And luckily, this one didn't turn into anything crazy. I say that because I had a goon do that to me. He rolled right up on me like that, thinking I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he thought he was going to do, but he tried to beeline it right up toward me, and I cocked it, and I had to jump out and put it right in his face. And down there, I don't want to hurt no one, harm no one. I don't want to harm no one. But somebody puts your life in danger, you've got to be on point. And that's exactly what I felt. My soul told me. And that dude, lucky. Just put it that way. You've got these, they want to call them deranged leftists, vandalizing park Teslas. This gets sick. This gets pretty nasty. These people are, they're spreading feces on the vehicles now. This is just disgusting. And again, there's cameras all over the place. So all this is getting caught. Gosh. This is disgusting. What a sick piece of work. Oh my gosh, that guy. Have you seen anyone like him? I showed you that guy right there last time. He was busted and he lied about it, and they nailed him. I'm going to play a couple other clips here, and I'm going to show you what people are doing. This is like a trend, man. This is like a big trend. This is going down. So I'm just warning you, if you've got one or you got a family member or friend, I'm concerned for people's safety here. I don't want no one to get hurt. You just saw that dude ran that lady off the road. What if that was your mom, your wife, your daughter, anyone else? I mean, you. And what if he was armed? I mean, dude ran her, cut her off and then jumped out on her. That's crazy. Here you got this guy trying to look around. He thinks no one's looking. That's these people like. It's like going up and trying to do this to like a bank. Go up and key the window of a bank. That'd be stupid. Why would it be stupid? Because, well, you're on camera all over the place. Here's the thing. These people are not realizing they're on camera. They're not realizing these Teslas have cameras, or they would not be doing this. I'm telling you, obviously. They don't see them. They don't realize it. And they don't realize it until it hits social media. But some people don't care, like this guy here. Look at this. Some lady has to run up and grab him, save him, run off with him. His wife or whoever had to run up, snatch him up, take him off out of here. She was like, oh crap. He's about to go to jail. Here's somebody else taking their dog poop right on the Tesla. I mean, it's like right now, if you've got a Tesla out there, these things are a magnet, but it's like a setup. It's like a big setup. With Elon, this whole thing's like a setup, man. It just, all this stuff just feels so staged and to create chaos, man. I mean, how brave are these people? Everybody smearing crap on cars and keying them. Like, I would say dumping. Oh, he feared doing what he feared most. He was saying, "Everybody, hold on to your stocks." Well, if you don't support him, then selling the stocks would show that. Versus shooting places up and all this other stuff. It's getting crazy. Look, these people think they're slick. What's funny is they think they're slick in all these clips. You can see them plotting. You can see them looking around. You can see them just like that lady. Oh, is she going to come back for more? Concerned about a little tiny something on her door, yet she done went down and scratched the piss out of the other car. And did it again. So everyday people just like this, like nonchalantly, are keying Teslas left and right. Like, I've never seen it at this magnitude before. I've never seen it at this magnitude. This kind of shows you there's a lot of people out there that like are not liking Elon Musk right now. It's kind of crazy because, I don't care for him because he's so evil. But is that what it is? Are they seeing that he's evil, or are they seeing is this a politics thing still? That's where I'm at with it. Like, as long as y'all are still stuck in the politics thing, it's like just awesome. I'm still sitting on here waiting for y'all to catch up. Like, look, I've been exposing George Soros and what he's been doing for a long, long time. And I've always said this guy should go to jail because he's organizing chaos and he's paying for it. And we've proven it. My own work has proven it. I've interviewed people, busted people. We've ran up in their NGO sites, found the people that had checks cut to them, city after city, time after time. And it even went all the way through Trump's most recent, or his first administration. You may recall there was a lady that chained her neck to a car down in Arizona before one of the Trump rallies, backed up traffic real bad, and all this to stop all the people from getting in there. Who was she? She was the head of Soros's place down there, the head place at that NGO, whatever society crap he pushes. He's got a ton of them by different names. So, what's the new stuff here? All right, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you missed the video I put out, there is this indivisible group, and they have taken money from George Soros again, and they are funneling this money to journalists. And even journalists that go out and say, look, we were doing journalist work, if they can prove it, they'll pay them. And what we're coming to find out is that they're organizing and planning to take out Tesla openly. And it's called Tesla takedown events. Okay? That's what they're dubbing these. Tesla takedown events. And they're set to go down all weekend. When they put this out, and I put out a heads up on X, make sure you're following me on X, Nashville, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Ohio, Illinois, Kansas City, you are targeted for this weekend. You sure are. For these events. So if there's any Teslas, any dealerships, any charging stations, anything in those locations, I would be head on a swivel. Much love, peace to all. Susie Q. Do you hear me? This is real deal. They believe that hurting Tesla is stopping Musk in any of this. This is really like sparking like a civil type of war in a weird way. It's just bringing people out against other people. Like you just seen that dude trying to smash up against the Cybertruck. That's kind of funny because it was bulletproof glass. It wasn't going to break. He was trying to punch it. It was never going to break. He'd have broke his hand. You've seen it, though. They don't care. It could have been... They could have got along. He could have actually got along with the driver. Take the Cybertruck out of the equation. The driver's just walking down that same street. They could have got along. They could have had the same views on things, all this other stuff. But he don't know none of that. He just sees the Cybertruck, and it's like a bull seeing red. And that's what all these people have been programmed to do. They're getting triggered. I've never seen so many everyday people smearing crap and all this other stuff on these vehicles. I didn't even show all the other ones, but look, the organizers are planning a color revolution. It is to kill the brand and all this stuff. That's the name of the game here.
Last thing I want to say is that I study memes. And the most obvious meme nobody's talking about is Elon's black hat. And he thinks of himself as this black hat hacker that's broken into the government and socially engineered his way into the treasury. And he's going to abscond with all the data. It's an obvious data heist. But he believes he's living a meme. And so we need to be very clear about what our demands are, about what our bright lines are, and that we're not going to stop until Tesla is done with Musk. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
So, look, they're having little live streams that are doing all this, and like all these people are coming out, and this is what they're doing. I've never seen so many. It's like massive organization. It's massive organization to do this, to attack all these different places. Innocent people. All right, now here's what I was telling you right here. If you look on the screen, it says Tesla Takedown, Saturday, March 22nd, 1 p.m. We're at Nashville and Franklin in Tennessee. Monday, March 24th, 4 p.m. Tesla takedown, Cincinnati. Tomorrow on the 22nd, 12 p.m. Central Time, Tesla takedown, Kansas City. This one over here says Orland Park, Illinois, 11:30 a.m. Central on the 29th. Those are the 4 that we know of right now. Let me tell you, this is exactly how BLM started way back in the day, hardcore. This is what the feeds look like. There were posts showing you what was about to happen in what town, what city. And I'd pack up and I'd go and I'd cover it. And we'd cover all these events, the protests, the clashes with the police, the burning down of the buildings. You name it, over and over and over. And that was through BLM, majority. Now, so now you've got this new group, this indivisible group, is what it's called. And it's connected to this guy called Ezra Levin. So Ezra Levin and his wife, they became resistance figures against Trump in the last term. And here they are again at the top of the totem pole, pulling the strings here, getting money from Soros and organizing and running all this. So indivisible already, just as a brand new thing right at the gate, just for their activism, has received $8 million. Just to feed and funnel out to all these people to do these things. So, and you can bet if Soros wants to apply more, they'll send more. And if they think it's successful, they'll keep feeding it. They needed something new, and they've done it. They retired BLM and all that, and all the crooks involved with that. And here is the new one. Here's the new animal. So, indivisible is like what is controlling this, and this is across country. Again, they're shooting places up, they're blowing cars up. Entire dealerships getting laid to waste, and you've got places being targeted tomorrow. So it looks like it's going to last all week into next weekend. So these, what they're calling anti-Tesla terrorists, they're being hit with federal charges. They're trying to call them domestic terrorists, and they've made this label. And this is kind of scary, because when the government goes making labels, you got to be paying attention. They could turn around and use this against the right down the road when the right's protesting whatever. Once it's been created, and it's been created by their Gentile Messiah. So they're calling these people domestic terrorists openly. You know what that means? You know what terrorists have always meant? That means that they could strike you. It means they could strike you with drones, cash coming in crazy, man. And I can't thank you enough, Cash. It's like, leaves me speechless. Thank you. Legendary. And appreciate it to the fullest. To the fullest. Look, I don't want to see no one get caught up in this first and foremost out there, because I know some people out there might have just unknowingly or thought it was cool, bought a Tesla or work at a Tesla or whatever, or be sitting in a Tesla parking lot when the goons roll in. Just know that this is a massive target at this point. They're hitting people with federal charges off the other side. I think it's going to escalate. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger. Bigger and bigger. Check this out. Talk about threatening. Trump suggests sending people that are doing this. And if he will do this with these people, I mean, he will do it with anybody. I mean, if you don't like them and you're going to revolt, this is what he's talking about doing. Sending you where criminals go to at the notorious El Salvador hellhole prison, where all the gang members held, treated like animals, and all this stuff. Like, they're talking about literally sending them there. They've labeled them terrorists. So let's see here.
It would be easier or harder to send these Tesla domestic terrorists to a jail in El Salvador than these MS-13 or Tren de Aragua guys?
Well, I view these people as terrorists just like others. These are, when I looked at those showrooms burning and those cars, not one or two, like 7, 8, 10 burning, exploding all over the place. These are terrorists. You didn't have that on January 6th, I can tell you. You didn't have anything like that on January 6th, which is sort of amazing because on January 6th, the Democrats were talking. Nobody was killed other than a very beautiful young woman.
He said several times, they're terrorists. He keeps saying it. He just labeled the cartels terrorist in Mexico, and look what he did. As soon as he labeled them a terrorist, he can use the military against them. Are you hearing me? Is everyone out there hearing it clearly? It's more black magic being used right in front of you. He has labeled these people, American citizens, terrorists, domestic terrorists. And when they catch the label of being a terrorist, he can use the military on them. Gentile Messiah. We're going to start striking anything they label a terrorist. And now this new domestic terrorist label going to get people drone struck. You watch. And once it happens, they get away with it. And they're going to say they get away with it because they're terrorists. It's going to be a common thing in America. This is more than a slippery slope. This is outright scary. What this opens the door for. Can't you see? He's going to label them all terrorists. Once they are labeled terrorists, they are subject to be struck by military predator drones. I've always feared the visions I've had of the days where drones are let loose in this country, because my first thought after that has always been like, we better learn as much as possible from the guys in Afghanistan and everything else that have to deal with this. What are they doing to take them down? All these other things. There's so many questions. Like, people are just so unprepared. So what about these people now? They catch in federal charges. So I'm suspecting strike teams like Homeland strike teams are going to be going trying to get these Tesla terrorists. Now, this is crazy. I'm telling you, this is escalating, and this is a huge story, and it's a big thing. It's happening right in front of your face. It's not going away. It's going to continue to spiral. Can't you see they're doing this? This Elon involved in all this. I hate all of it. Just get him out of the picture. Eject him. Like, he has no business being involved in none of this. No, he was not elected in any of it. He was not elected in any of it. You want to bitch about politicians being lobbied and controlled by Israel and other places and all this other crap? This dude was never elected for nothing. And he's rummaging through everything. Like, dude, this is insane. Is what it is. Oh, he's finding money. He's saving money. He's doing this. No, you're stupid. He's sitting there telling you that this government's done all this and that no one's going to jail for it. What do you got to say about that? Huh? What do you got to say about that? Nothing. Like always. Just turn around, shut up with your garbage. Sick of it. These stupid, blank excuses trying to defend these crooks, these criminals. They got some of you smoked with their black magic, and it's bad. It's really bad. Again, dark MAGA should not be in the White House. It's all satanic, I'll tell you, but there's all this talk that he was going to be briefed, Elon was going to be briefed about these plans with war with China. Trump tries to come out and say it's not the case. Well, I'm going to tell you different. He is hearing some stuff because he's now on the other end of this in a separate story. We already know he's tied in with the military through Starlink and all this other stuff. All the operations that were just going down in Ukraine and everything else, it was all supplied by Starlink. All these communications, satellite communications through everything, is through him. And plus, all his space advancements. He's the leader at the forefront of space. And we have Space Force, okay? And he's connected on the back end of all this. And into all of it. He's wove himself into it. That's why he's standing in the White House. It's because he's so connected in all these departments, all these places. He's standing there unelected. Which, I don't know. I just think that this is a big play. I feel like everything that we're witnessing is like scripted to unravel like this. And keep pushing. Kevin O'Leary going off on Tim Walz because Tim Walz apparently was chanting for Tesla to go down. Everybody's going to have their opinion out here. Play this clip.
When you set a car on fire, you should go to jail. You're a criminal.
Any car,
I don't think we have to talk about it in any other context. And all those cars have cameras in them, and those dealerships have cameras. You're beyond being stupid when you do that. You're going to go to jail, and you now have a government that just got their mandate. They can't wait to find idiots that do this. You're going to spend 5 to 20 years in prison. If they get them on terrorism, which I think is a stretch, they will have no parole, no shortened sentence. They'll rot in hell in prison for 20 years. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. Breaking in, shooting a car, setting on fire, nothing to do with the politics, nothing to do with Tesla. You are a criminal, and you should go
what about the broader
to jail.
question about the protest factor? I mean, you heard
What
Tim Walz.
protest? You're a criminal.
I'm talking about Tim Walz and his comments about the Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in the state.
I mean,
that's their investment fund.
Point,
what a bozo.
The minute.
See, and he's sitting there trashing it, but yet he's invested in it. Calling him out on it. That's why I said we need to make our own. We need to make our own underground stock or coin or whatever. Something we can invest in and run it the right way. For real. For real. And we need to do something to set an example. Who knows? Well, here's Trump. Man, Trump looks... He's old. He's getting old. Tired, bored, old. And freshly spray painted orange with blonde highlights. Whatever. Here, the Gentile Messiah. Gonna give his thoughts and opinions here real quick.
Quote from Tim Walz. I think I could kick most of their ass.
Oh boy, he'd be in trouble.
Is there any way to know?
Well, he's a loser. Yeah, I mean, he's a loser. He lost an election. He played a part. You know, usually a vice president doesn't play a part, they say. I think Tim played a part. I think he was so bad that he hurt her. But she hurt herself, and Joe hurt them both. They didn't have a great group, but I would probably put him at the bottom of the group.
Have you heard that Biden wants to get back involved for
And he talks all this crap. They play all this stuff. We see it every day, all the time. But I'm telling you, it's a left-right paradigm. Now, here's one. This is what I would like to see. A Tennessee mayor and former WWE legend, Kane, challenges Tampon Tim, or Tennessee Walz as they call him, to a charity wrestling match. And this is what I want to see. Like, if anybody wants to has any violence they want to take out or anything, just take it to the ring, octagon or whatever. Do it for charity. And yeah, I wonder if he'll really take him up on it. I doubt it.
All right, everyone. November 5th, Election Mania. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and The Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Bautista, and Tim Walz. Choose.
So yeah, that's the Undertaker right there, and if you go back in the clip, yeah, there's Kane sitting off to the side of Trump. So, yeah, I'd like to see that match. If it was really gonna, a wrestling match. Let me back that up. I don't like wrestling. I don't like WWE. I don't like the fake stuff. I like the get it in the cage, and there's rules. And you got your gloves and your mouthpiece and all that, and get it on. Let's see that. All right, for those that are looking for a laugh, man, looking for a break, I got a couple of these here back to back. This one is really embarrassing. AOC trying to give her big speech in front of the crowd, and
we need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us
to. That fights harder. Yeah, that was a huge gaffe, but that's what they do. This one is crazy. This lady comes up on this guy for wearing a hat, and they finally the train stops. He runs out, and she tries to chase him and grab it, like assaulting him. And oh man, she eats it in the process. This is a pretty good one. It's pretty funny here. Let me make sure I got it blown up all the way. Just see, she goes chasing him, she's just talking crap on the train because he's got the MAGA hat. That's pretty much what started it. Again, the MAGA hat and the Teslas, all this stuff they're serving as magic items to trigger the other side. So anyone that's wearing anything Trump or with Trump hat and all this stuff, violence is kicking up. And with anything with Tesla, that's what's happening.
You must be highly educated. Oh, are you? Then why are you wearing that hat? It's going up for I don't know how long. The Democrats have been running New York since who knows how long. But then Trump comes in and just takes over. All right, well, this is my stop. I hope you enjoyed the hat. Oh, she tried to attack her. She just...
I gotta play it one more time.
I'm highly educated. Oh, are you? Then why are you wearing that hat? It's going up for I don't know how long. The Democrats have been running New York since who knows how long. But then Trump comes in and just takes over. All right, well, this is my stop. I hope you enjoyed the hat. Oh, she tried to attack her. She just...
He kicked on the turbo booster, man. Pulled a Barry Sanders on her, shook her off, and took off. He was like, "Well, this is my spot. This is my stop. I hope you like the hat." And she just went lunging. I guess once she committed, and they had a little scuffle, she had to keep going. So she was in it all the way for the dive. That was that was the funnier one that I've seen, man. I've seen a lot of really bad, violent ones, but that one, that was funny. George Foreman dead at 76. Is that breaking? Is that just now happening? The truth. Somebody said in the chat there. Look at this. New York University puts out protest tips urging white people to act as human shields. between minorities and police. And you don't think there's not something going on here? Yeah, there's something going on here. They're pushing this huge, chaotic atmosphere any way that they can get it. Here's more in terms of the racial stuff. Like they're having their goons make sure that they're not hiring white men or white people in all this stuff.
So if you had an African American guy and that white guy who you did hire both together for that role, say they're equal on all merits.
Yeah. We just have to be very careful, right? Because our guests cannot connect with our employees, and if they're all white, it just doesn't resonate the same way.
So in that situation, you would be weeding out by race, essentially.
I would as well look at that, right?
Yeah. We chose to investigate MGM. This led us to Albie Velarde, the director of casino marketing at MGM Resorts. Albie Velarde states he won't hire whites.
You wouldn't have wanted to hire the white guy then at that point.
Is there a cultural fit? Because if they're not, no matter how great they look on paper, they don't fit well with my team, I'm not going to hire them.
The casino marketing director for MGM reveals that if MGM was to lose a female employee, MGM HR will instruct their hiring management to obtain more female employees based upon their turnover summary.
Have you ever gotten memos from higher up about like...
So this isn't new. I've been showing this, and O'Keefe and them have been exposing this. You know, I just wanted to put more light on it. It keeps happening. More and more places. It's like all the upper management in all these places are being told the same crap. You know, don't hire the white guy. And it's like, dude, like, this is getting stupid. Like, and it's half the time it's white guys doing this. It's like, how sold out are you? Like, these are the ones I can't stand. I'm telling you. So, where we at? Past the top of the hour. All right, I'm going to jump into the military and the global stuff here and round this out here within the next 20 minutes here. So, European leaders start drafting a 5 to 10 year plan to replace the U.S. in NATO. This is pretty big because they're accepting the fact that we're out. We're dipping. You take the United States, the military, all their financial everything out of the picture. I'm telling you, Europe's hurting. They're going to be hurting. I mean, against Russia and China, they like seem to be hating them both. They're going to be hating everyone. They definitely hate Russia because they want to keep backing the whole thing with Ukraine against Russia. But it's so stupid. Why do you hate Russia? This is the same Russia that keeps you alive every winter, that sells you grain every year. Like, this is a stupid show. It's a lie. If Russia really wanted you dead, they would have cut it all off just in one select winter. You all froze to death. And they could still do it at any time, but no, they've never done that. The world's a stage. Yeah. How are you going to be at odds want to go World War III with the country that you're dependent on like that? Like, it's just... So, we're supposed to have a ceasefire. Trump is supposed to talk a ceasefire here between Ukraine and Russia. This idiot Zelensky decides he's going to bomb Russia. And it's like stupid. It's absolutely stupid. As this one says, sabotaging peace. Zelensky ramps up demands and they blow up a substation in the Kursk region. And this defies the whole thing of striking energy places. They agreed to at least not strike energy places. He couldn't even do that. He directly went straight and did it after saying he wouldn't. I can't stand the guy. He's got to go, and I got a feeling like Trump and them view it the same way. So, Trump and them are saying that this is going to wrap up within a week in 11/11. Much love, y'all. This is going to wrap up within the week, but whatever they settle with Russia, whatever Trump and Putin and them agree on, Zelensky's got to take it. They're saying he has got to accept it. What is this dude going to do? What are we going to do? What is the Trump administration going to do if Zelensky goes rogue and keeps doing this stuff? Like, they've announced a full-blown peace agreement. Trump announces it, but yet Zelensky's over there controlling his military, and they're still striking. Like, if that continues, man, I don't know what you're going to see. Kendall, thank you for the coffees. Much love. I don't know what you're going to see at this point. I mean, Russia could respond with just a quick tactical nuke and like this. I don't know. They could try to do what we did to Saddam, or try to do to Saddam, decapitation strike. But Zelensky has got to go. Okay? You can see right here they hit a facility that's known for housing the Tu-95 and the Tu-160 nuclear-capable strategic bombers. This is what Russia calls the largest drone assault ever. So again, you're on the cusp of trying to work out a peace deal in front of the whole world, and you turn around and you do this? Like, this is ridiculous. Zelensky also demanding that Russia return all territory that they gained since this whole thing. It's never going to happen. Russia's not going to give up an inch of none of it. And they already said it. It's one of the first main things they said. They're not giving up nothing. They're keeping it all. And that's just the first thing. Get over it. Basically, they're saying they're keeping everything that they just fought for and won. And Zelensky's back and forth. Yeah, I'll accept this. I'll do this. But then he turns around and does the other. This is why Russia said that we're not going to do a 30-day ceasefire, because it's just going to be a timeout for them to remobilize. And I can't stand Zelensky in Ukraine. Do you see what they do? They snatch up their young men off the street every day. They tie them to poles, strip them, pull their pants down where they're naked, where everyone could see them, tie them up to humiliate them in front of everyone in the city. I put this on my X. It's crazy, and it's blurred out. But you can see what they're doing. They're chasing dudes down on bicycles and like crushing the bike and knocking them off, and then running and kidnapping young men, young military-aged men, and sending them to their deaths. It's nuts. Their own people, their own kind, doing this to them. It's preposterous, dude. It's insane. And Zelensky's at the head of all of it. It's satanic. It's evil. None of it's needed. It has to stop. So look what they do now. As the losses mount and they run out of humans, look what they're rolling out. Look at this. Battle bots. On the front line. Just gonna mow people down now. See, and this is the stuff we warned you about. And look, they're introducing it to the whole world right now on Ukraine. Before the curtain closes, they're gonna show you they're rolling out robots. And that's what they're doing. They're rolling out robots, high-powered ones like this one, that are being remote controlled from a long distance or whatever, by satellite, whatever it is. And what do you do when these roll up? Your 7.62 by 3.9s are not going to mess with this. Your safe full of guns and all your ammunition's not going to stop this. We got a problem, Houston. All the patriots across America are loaded up with their guns and their ammunition, and it's designed to stop humans. Not robots. Not robots. You're going to have a hard time. It's going to take some thinking, and you have some figuring out. Yeah. So, what's this one say? Hunting killer drones with your father's 12 gauge. And it's just that. It says just that. What are Russian soldiers and everybody on the front line doing? They're carrying shotguns with certain slugs that are designed to take down these drones that are coming down with bombs and blowing them apart. It's the last ditch resort. Instead of watching it come right at you and blow you to pieces, raise your shotgun up, blast at it, and blow it up, 20, 30 feet away from you before it gets to you. Because you can hear them coming. You can hear them buzzing, dive bombing at you. And the video is all over the place. You see video of this. It's disgusting. Young men getting slaughtered every day, bombed by DJI Phantom drones that got C4 and other explosives attached to it. They're just dive bombing them and blowing them up and filming the whole thing, live streaming it the whole time. It's disgusting. It's sick. It's happening left and right. But now the guys are fighting back. They're blowing them out of the sky with slugs. And I think everybody better take notes. You better take notes. I don't even know the slug. You better come with something. You better be out there doing some practice. You better be seeing what's going to penetrate some thick metal casing like what's on this battle bot right here. With this gun, machine gun turret mounted on it. How you going to take this thing out? Huh? Back to the drawing board, gentlemen. All right? That's where we're at. Everybody was sitting, even people that were trained, that went to war, trained to do all this. You weren't trained to do this. Vets and all that were trained for certain things. Like, this is a new thing. And just wait. Wait till Elon, again, the demon, releases his bots. It's literally like Terminator. All they got to do is put the weapon in their hand or have it built into the hand. It's over. How you gonna stop these things? When an army of bots, Elon's Terminator bots, like real deal Terminators, they can run up your mountainside. You knock them over, they can get back up. They can self-detonate, all this other crazy crap. Like, man, this is a whole new era. I'm telling you, people sleeping on it. They're sleeping on it. It's not going to be till like it's too late. It's going to need a whole new plethora of weapons, whole new design and tactics. You got these things coming up on your property and some Terminator bots, literally, coming up the driveway, coming up the mountain, different angles. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Your 7.62s and your little bullets are not going to do nothing to them. What are you going to do? Get out there and try to run them over with a tractor or bulldozer or something? No. They would have done shot you. They would have done shot you. What are you going to do? This whole new thing to think about. But this is what you're facing. Funny thing is, they probably knew this long ago. They never cared that you were stacking all that ammunition because they knew it was going to be obsolete. So Putin warning business leaders that the whole ceasefire talks are going to be slow and difficult, and mainly because Zelensky is a jackrabbit and won't keep his word. He has to go. So China is flipping out, seeing this whole thing. They're pissed off about the Panama thing, and they're realizing, because they're not as good as friends with China as everyone perceives, that there could be a rug pull happening here. And this is starting to come to the surface and be seen. That if Trump plays this Russia card, as they're calling it, full scale, and strikes up deals, that it's going to be almost like done. This is huge right here. Russia's Arctic LNG mega project is going to be huge. It's going to figure into a future deal with the U.S. They're talking about all these things. They're ready to do these things. They've made it clear, both sides. It's just Zelensky seems to be a thorn in the side. Again, if they drop a little mini nuke on him or something happens crazy here, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, when you've got the two biggest leaders like on the globe, Putin and Trump, sitting here trying to work something out, and this dude's a problem, that problem's got to go. You see? And they're warning that a hard rain's going to fall. But look, if a good deal struck up with Russia, Russia's so good of friends with Iran and obviously would protect Iran, that this may also bring up some kind of peace truce. That who would broker? The Gentile Messiah, the Prince of Peace. Of all places, a place that wouldn't even want to see him dead. Iran, because he struck their general and killed him. What do you do there? Because Russia is always going to back them. There's going to have to be some kind of peace deal that's worked out if all this is to be taken seriously and actually happen. But if they are wanting to paint the picture that Trump is this Gentile Messiah and he can spark peace everywhere around, but anywhere he goes, even in these crazy places, crazy environments. I'm not buying it though. You know, some people were appalled and couldn't believe it. Even Trumpers, when he said, we're just going to go into Gaza and clean them out. Like, it's human life you're talking about. But it's like, he showed you right there the arrogance that they don't care. They're just going to go in and clean it out. And like, they can't go back. They just can't go back. They can't go back. But yeah, it's such a wasteland. They can't go back. But we're going to turn it into a Riviera. You know, oh, okay. But then, can it go back then? Oh, no, they can't go back. It's just like, we're going to send them to Saudi Arabia and, you know, all these other places. They'll have camps over there that they can stay in, real nice camps. They're real nice camps, huh? They're going to be equipped with gas chambers and everything else. Like, this is ridiculous. Gentile Messiah. You can't make this up. This is not a movie, although you could try to make one and probably, you know, this is real deal. This is what's really happening. Real life right now. Gentile Messiah making these moves, man. I see some kind of deal being worked out here. I mean, it's kind of really going in that direction. So this is what Trump says. He tells Zelensky, let us take over your nuclear plants to protect them. Because, look, I told you this last stream. It's like everybody must have been thinking this. This nutcase has done hit Zaporizhia, and he's done hit the outer shell casing of Chernobyl. You know, that was put there to protect it and keep the radiation in. He didn't care. He's done hit it. He hit it with drones and they pierced it. Luckily, there was no massive, like, freak radiation release. Although I'm sure some was released. But there's all kinds of sites. Look at this map. There's all kinds of nuclear sites across Ukraine. Look at this. You've got the major ones. Zaporizhia down here on the right. Then you got South Ukraine Station. Then you got the Chernobyl site that sits all the way up here on the border near Belarus. Kiev sits south of it. But then you've got these two to the left as well. So you've got quite a few different nuclear places there. Of course, I don't think Russia's going to turn around tit for tat and strike any of their nuclear stuff. If Russia's going to do anything nuclear, it's going to be using a nuclear weapon. It'd be tactical. It would be right on Kiev, right there. And it would be right on where they believe Zelensky's at. Is what I think. I don't even, and it's not going to be anything that has nuclear fallout. I don't even think they use a nuke, to be honest with you at this point. Unless it was to hit a full-blown military base. They're definitely not going to hit civilian population. Russia's not, they haven't been doing it. They're not going to do it at this point. Look at this little nugget. I told you there were little nuggets that were in there with the juiciest one that I thought of the whole JFK file thing that they released, 80,000 pages, whatever, of some crap. Was just a little bit of nuggets that led to the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, the original ISIS. And here's another one. A transcript reveals how an Israeli scientist and U.S. experts may have played roles in the transfer of nuclear intelligence to Israel. Of course. It's their baby. If they didn't, as they said before, as Biden said, if they didn't have an Israel in the Middle East, they'd have to create one to serve their interests. Do you understand that? It's clear. Conor McGregor announcing a run for Irish presidency. You've done flopped it, dude. Like, look, I'm all into fighting, have been. My whole life been in MMA. Know a lot of MMA fighters, trained it, ran it, working the circuits, all this stuff. In respect to Conor McGregor, and I respect fighting because it's real deal versus the fake wrestling. McGregor's just money's gone to his head, and he thinks he's gonna jump up here and run to be president of Ireland. Like, man, like this is just me. Where I come from, like the people, the migrants overrunning your country, like first and foremost, you're a fighter that whoops butt. Like you should have legions and pockets of dudes in the streets that whoop butt and do that to protect it. But yet that hasn't happened because you've been flying around in jets and rolling around in yachts and raping women and all this other stuff that you've been accused of and all this, right? So you've done ruined it. You wouldn't show up here like you're going to run for president. Like I can take you serious. Like what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You get the position, what are you going to do? Anything you could do right now without being president. Because you've got the eyes, the ears, they're on you, famous, you got the money. You know, what are you going to do? Go be an establishment puppet? Really? Let me play this clip of him so you can see him talking. It doesn't even seem like the same McGregor you've ever seen. It's nuts.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed. And the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
It's already no place to come home and visit. You go there and it looks like a part of South Africa. You wouldn't even know you're in Ireland. It's crazy. Right? So, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not just Ireland. They've done this everywhere. The UK's been racked and hit. They've done this everywhere. I told you this. And who did it? Soros backed it, planned it, and plotted it. He's been doing this for so long. And who gave the green light for it? Jesuit Pope Francis. Right, the Jesuits. An update on him. They said here tonight that he has to relearn to talk. In her rehabilitation and all this stuff, which is interesting. I don't see them going forward like this. I think that another pope is going to step on the scene, and you must have to have one. It's about to happen. And he can't even talk. He has to relearn to talk. Coming off a deathbed, come on, this dude's cashed. Yeah, anyway, there's going to be another person controlling the whole thing there. Let me finish it on this. 2 illegal immigrants that were supposed to be deported escaped from ICE. And this is part of the madness here. The local police wouldn't even help. Now look, I get it. If it's you, if it's a citizen, if it's like me or you, you're born here, an American. If ICE was trying to come in and mess with, the feds were trying to come in and mess with you, then like the police shouldn't help them. They shouldn't. They should be doing exactly what they're doing right now. That's if you're an American. But they're not. They're doing it for illegals, which it's all ass backwards. And it's insane, man. Like, again, this comes down to states. I hope that you're in a state that you like, that you're comfortable in. I really think the best bet for most people from here is to go off-grid. the best you can, or to have an off-grid location. If you're looking to skip out on the madness, have a couple plans. I've had some people asking about the whole thing with off-grid. What's it take and all this? It's a good question. It could be done. There's some places out there that exist that run completely off-grid for the power, water, septics, all that stuff, where you're not depending on the system. And if the system goes down, this is the biggest thing here. When the zombies come out, the system goes down. You're far away from it, and you still have everything. You can have your Starlink internet. And don't know, you can be out of sight, out of mind is the whole thing. You ain't got to be a million miles away. It could be 10 miles outside of town, but just tucked away in a spot where you're tucked away. That's the whole thing. Out of sight, out of mind, to me. No matter where you're at. Not everybody can go here, there, and do this, that. But there's been some off-grid places built out here and being built in this neck of the woods that are going to be going up for sale just for that reason, to create off-grid type things like that, in places where you can build whole communities. If anyone is interested in something like that, let me know. dabu7@yahoo.com. Looking to buy, live, anything like that. Where it's already pretty much already done. All the hardest stuff. It's been built, powered, and all that. And you can also mirror and mimic all that stuff too. That's all it's about. Do the same thing. You can set up whole communities like this, off-grid. And some people are doing it out there. Salutes to you. I see chaos in our future. I see it only getting crazier. Unfortunately. And I just hope that you guys are safe in the process. I don't know. What's Elon going to do next? In response to all this, roll out his army of robots or something? It's just nuts. I see this dude creating a car that transforms into a robot. I see Elon Musk creating a real transformer. I see it. It's going to be wild. These guys are going to stop at nothing till they get a chip in your damn brain. It's not enough that they can create all these robots and have AI and can speak to the devil through it all. No, it's not. They want to put a chip in your brain still, and they want to mix iron with clay, and they want to do it all. They're seething with that much evil. They want to do it all. So, all right, guys. It's been a long one tonight. All right. Good luck to shut it down. Take us out of here on some music, as always. If you don't know the routine, going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. Check the chat on my way out as I fire up the music, give some shout-outs. Yeah. I want to thank everyone that joins us, everyone that shares the stream. I want to thank everyone out there that supports the stream. Appreciate it more than you know. Thank you, Alex, Arma, Soul Foundry, Sin, Johnny, Luis, Lowrider, Kendall, the legendary Cash Heart. Thank you guys. All the support and love. Appreciate it to the fullest. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for fighting the good fight. It is appreciated. It really is. Pure Bloods, salutes. If I don't get to meet some of you in the flesh, I'll see you on the other side. That's for sure. And salutes to the legendary Eon, who's there every stream, relentless. No one like it. Much love, my brother. God bless all.